Hey folks, welcome back to the channel. Let's talk a little bit about Palantir Technologies. And boy, it is down big today, close to 11 bucks at this time period, down 9.73%. And over the last 2 days, it's down more than $20. So, does this drop mean long-term difficulty for Palantir Technologies? I don't believe so. And that's because I have an inkling as to where these cuts are coming from the Defense Department that Pete Hegseth announced yesterday. And it is not going to be focused on areas that Palantir Technologies services. And there are other reasons as well. But these 8% cuts over the next 5 years are probably not going to focus on our warfighting capabilities, our military readiness capabilities, and they're going to be focused on benefits for active duty military and veterans benefits. Why? Largely because veterans disability benefits have been under attack for a while, and the creators and contributors to Project 2025 have written several anonymous articles, one of them appearing in The Economist, that just lambasted veterans benefits that have been earned over the last 2 decades, and they were called absurdly generous. Now, I don't know if you guys know a lot of disabled veterans like I do. I'm not going to say that they're absurdly generous, but the contributors to Project 2025 absolutely believe this. The most recent calls for cuts came from a widely criticized opinion article in The Economist on November 28th, which was anonymous, that described veterans' disability benefits as being absurdly generous. Experts told Task and Purpose, which is the article I'm pulling from because the original is behind a paywall, that the essay is representative of widespread public misperceptions and threatens to reduce veterans' compensation for service-connected health conditions. So the VA and the Department of Defense are actually two separate entities. I think that separately, the cuts in the VA are going to come a little bit later after the cuts for the Department of Defense are done initially. I think that most of those cuts to the Department of Defense that are coming are going to be in benefits for active duty military, namely cuts for the basic allowance for housing and possibly the basic allowance for subsistence. More likely the basic allowance for housing. That is a benefit that is given to military folks to cover the cost of their housing if they live off base. Now, it's very easy to look at the military pay chart, particularly for enlisted folks, and see, that somebody's an E7 that's been in the military for, 12 years, 14 years or something like that. They only have a taxable income of somewhere between $30,000 and $36,000 a year because that is their basic pay. On top of that, they get the basic allowance for housing, which is going to be a generous amount to cover the housing for them and their families as well, to live off base. And that is a tax-free benefit. Like here in California, that tax-free benefit for an E5 with dependents is somewhere north of $3,500 at this point, and that is tax-free money. So when it comes to taxation, they're only taxed on their basic pay, and anything that has the word pay on their paycheck, they're actually taxed on. Everything else that doesn't have the word pay in it, they're generally not taxed on. Those are benefits of being, active duty military. There's also a lot of other facilities and benefits and perks for being in the military that probably could be cut. Now, I don't approve of cutting any of these. I approve of cutting across the board. I don't believe that we should be cutting these particular benefits for folks in the military because no matter what you do, it is a hard job. But this is where I think cuts are coming. I don't think that Palantir Technologies is going to suffer from these cuts for a couple of different reasons. Number one, like I said, their warfighting and military readiness concerns make Palantir Technologies they have a great suite of products for those. Also, my main reason for not believing that they're going to suffer that much is the rampant corruption and cronyism with this administration. It's quite clear to me that Palantir Technologies is going to benefit greatly from the bidding process and that we're not really going to see competitive or fair bidding for anything that they're going to bid on. And they are going to have billions of dollars of contracts available to them. We're going to see an expansion of the national security state here in the United States because this administration is actually obsessed with national security, and Palantir Technologies will happily step in to be their security blanket. So anyway, just my short video today on why I don't think that Palantir Technologies will suffer that much in the long run. We're going to see some volatility in the short run. If Palantir Technologies drops back down into the 60s, I plan on purchasing more, and I don't plan on selling what I have now. Thank you very much, guys, and I will see you next time.